You're probably going to ask, what do carrots have to do with the model ship episode? Well, about 2 episodes or so back, one of the viewers asked me, am I still giving carrots to the rabbits? And the answer to that is yes, I am. I've been doing it quite regularly. I haven't hardly missed at all. Every day. And yeah, about the amount that you see here. 2, sometimes 3 carrots, and I cut them up just the way you see. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do once the snow gets deep. I haven't thought that through yet. Those poor little rabbits, they might just be out of luck because, I'm not going to stand out there and keep shoveling off their carrot pile. Well, let's forget about rabbits and carrots, at least until the springtime. Be interesting to see just how many of those poor little creatures made it through the cold Winnipeg winter. Now, doesn't that make you feel sorry for them? Anyway, this piece here is going to go like this, okay? And this one here goes on the front, something like this. Then this one here, it's keyed on the bottom, and so is this part right here. So that means it has to go on here, something like this, I think. Now eventually a large mast is going to go down in there and up anyway, but that's not for a couple of steps yet, I don't think. Yeah, but we can't put any of that stuff in place until we get this stuff painted. And I'm just wondering now about this part right here. Now the other pieces are going to be fairly easy, but this one here, I've got to paint the floor a dark color, like this, and the sides I want, the light color, which I believe was what we concluded it was the sky gray we were using. Yeah, and I think the best thing for me to do would be to spray everything with the sky gray and then try and do the floor with a brush. Wonder what all these little cubby holes are in. Now, I did see that in Stefan's book. Let's take a look at that. Now, there are 2 drawings that show this area. There's this one here, and there's a better one, which you have seen already before. Now, there is so much stuff on this ship that I have no idea what it is. This almost looks like, I don't know, lockers where you go in and change your clothes. But I think I may have found something else that's just going to tell us what it is. Okay, here we go. If you look, these lines from number 7 are stopping on the sides of the wall right here. And number 7 is signal flags under canvas cover. Okay, there's signal flags. My goodness. Yeah, my goodness is right. They must have had a flag for everything. Probably somebody had hidden a white one way down the bottom in the back. White, I surrender. Not too likely on the Bismarck. Anyway, yeah, they probably had flags for toilet number 47 is plugged today, or the cook burned the apple strudel. Let's get serious. Now here is something that I hadn't noticed before. If I look carefully here on this diagram, one of the lines points to this pipe, the one on your right, the smaller one, and it's called number 11. Now, I am just wondering here. I've got double-sided tape here and double-sided tape here. Now, is that going to be strong enough, or is the airbrush, when it's going at an angle, going to blow this thing over and damage it? I want to try and get this centered so that when it's turning on the rotator, it doesn't wobble, if you know what I mean. And I think I got it pretty close here. Now this one here, if I put it this way, which is the best way for spraying, it's not going to get the top, of this little deck area here. So I'm just wondering, is this going to work? Or is that going to get blown over? Now, I already did shake this up in the paint shaker, but that was about 15 minutes ago. And it's our sky gray. Now, my thinking for not, taking two samples here instead of just one big one is because if the paint goes way up to the top there, it's going to, you're going to lose a lot more paint on the inside of the pipette. It's just going to stick in there. And I'm doing my hot water thing so I can reuse the pipette. It seems to work out okay. Okay, I'm going to have to come down at a fairly steep angle to get the inside of the walls. It looks okay. Okay, now this one, is it going to blow over on me? I had the regulator adjusted for about 20 pounds there. I find that 20 pounds or maybe 25 pounds, this particular airbrush seems to work the best. We are all cleaned up here. Let's take a close look at these pieces. You know, I like to clean the airbrush up right away. I don't like to leave it, and that way there's less chance of paint getting clogged and stuff that's going to be hard to clean out later. So far I haven't had a problem, but then on the other hand, you've probably seen me use this thing every time I've used it. Well, almost every time, so as you can imagine, I haven't used it all that much. Now I want to put on the macro lens and move in right here because on one of these pieces, I think it was this one here, there was on the inside, there was some like little hairs. So what it turns out is it was actually plastic. I guess the extra thin must have got between the plastic part and the tweezer. And yeah, so I did my best to try and clean that off, but I just want to put on the macro lens and zoom right in on there and see, how it came out. Okay, it was the one on our right. Let's just swing it around here. Maybe we can get a shadow. It is now the one on our left. Yeah, you can sort of see where there was some stuff got filed, and I couldn't get the sandpaper in there, so I just used the file. But I got it pretty good. It's sure a lot better than it was anyway. Now let's look at the round pieces. Now I was a little bit concerned when I was sort of flooding it on the deck there, that maybe I was going to lose my detail, but it's still there. When the moisture evaporated out of the paint, the paint shrunk, as I mentioned before. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the other one. Oh. Now I did blow these pieces off with compressed air. but I'm noticing what appears to be a little piece of dust or something, or maybe that's a piece of plastic. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, piece of plastic. Now the floor area or deck area is going to have to be painted dark, the darker gray. Probably that's semi-gloss. And I'm just wondering here, do I use my hedgehog spine brush? Or do I use the one that everybody says is no good and I should replace it? Or do I use the one that always works good for me? Now here's a little surprise that I was not expecting. Now is that the plastic and I didn't get the flashing out? Or is it a case of the paint was just put on too thick? I don't think it could be the paint. I think it's flashing that I missed. Well, I don't know what to do about that now. Well, I tried to cut it out and it's not paint, it's flashing. And as you can see here, I've sort of filled in the gap with the semi-gloss paint. And it kind of got up the sides a little bit there, but yeah, that is, it's amazing. I didn't notice that. And the other one has the same problem, only not quite as bad. Now for around the outside here, I'm probably going to have to repaint this edge with the sky gray. But see if I come at it. I think I'm just going to have to go ahead and do this and hold it as best I can, and then I'll show it to you after. The paint is still wet. And yes, I will have to touch up on the edges with the sky gray. Now for this piece here, getting down on the inside. Right now I've got the piece just sitting loose on the brown towel. But I think I better fasten it down. I guess the smart thing to do would be to do the most difficult areas first. And then, when we get out in the more open area, it'd be a lot easier. No, don't press down too hard, Ron. Yeah, that's going to work. And I can swivel it around and yeah. Now I'm just wondering if possibly my favorite brush here is maybe just a little bit too heavy duty to get into some of these tight corners. Maybe the hedgehog spine brush. Although it doesn't really work itself into a nice point like my useless brush does. So I think I'm going to opt for the useless brush. Okay. Now, I think it was in comments from the video from the day before yesterday. Somebody thought that I should maybe paint the windows on the inside on the boats, the little boats, and Maybe I need a little bit more on there. And I made the sarcastic remark, something about, well, this model is being wasted on somebody who is satisfied with the mediocre. And actually it's not so much that, is that I just don't have the finesse that I used to have. Okay, once again I'm going to turn that so that I can actually see it better. Right now I got it turned good for the camera. Yeah, I'm going to just try and go all the way around all the little walls and see if I can't do something that looks halfway, well, mediocre. Yeah, in the meantime, we'll see how that looks tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.